Welcome you to our panel with QCC. We are very pleased to welcome Dean Betty Lauer, and she is Dean of the School of Business, Engineering, and Computer Programs. And along with Betty, we would like to welcome three professors from QCC. We have Professor Biganahi, Professor Polnaro, and Professor McLean. I would like to let you know that this presentation is being recorded, and I will hand the presentation over to Betty to welcome her team.
Well, thank you. Thank you, all of you Worcester Public Schools students who are here to learn more about QCC. My name is Betty Lauer, and I'm the Dean for the School of Business, Engineering, and Technology. And I want to tell you why you should come to QCC. To start with, QCC was established in 1963 on West Boylston Street in Worcester. That's almost 60 years for QCC to lead Worcester citizens to their educational goals. QCC has provided thousands of men and women opportunities for a first-rate education and personal growth, whether that's preparing them for immediate entry into the workforce, transfer to a bachelor level program or a four-year college, or even for personal or cultural enrichment. We offer a variety of certificates. A certificate is usually about a year long and really focuses on very specific skills. We offer 2-year degrees, Associates of Arts or Sciences, and many of these certificates and degrees have the ability to transfer onto other public or private universities. We have several program options that have, like, if you complete your 2-year degree at QCC, you can move on to a 4-year college, to complete 2 more years for a bachelor's degree. So, engineering and computer career areas offer hands-on approach to education, and we have some really nice high-tech labs. The curriculum in business engineering and technology aligns with industry needs in Worcester County. And as you choose a career, you should review the employment market for that career, including job prospects and pay. This is something that a program coordinator like Jean McLean or Dean Polnaro or Dodd Bay could help you with. But also, another QCC faculty or an advisor could help you with that as well. Some other very important things to know about QCC is that we've received many recent awards, including top 10 online programs in the US. We also received an award recently, the top 10 business administration program as well. Regularly, QCC has an enrollment of about 8,000 to 13,000 per year. I have a lot of confidence in QCC. All 5 of my children have taken courses from QCC in their path to higher education and then on to success. And, QCC offers a wide variety of student services to help you along your way to success, in academic and personal goals both. We have all sorts of student services, such as financial aid that can help you get assistance with paying, either through grants or scholarships or even loans potentially. We have an advising staff to help you learn more about the academics and help you with choosing the correct courses for a program area. We have a strong tutoring center to support you as you move through your classes, and maybe you are seeking a little extra direction. We have counseling and wellness services, an athletic center, a food bank, and even more. Plus, we have extracurricular activities. We have sports, we have clubs, we have various events that include industry partners. We have a mentoring program and more. Our application process is easy. You can simply go to www.qcc.mass.edu and click on the Apply ribbon at the top of the home page. So today we're going to get started, and we are going to look at just 3 of the 14 program areas that's in business engineering and technology. And we're going to start out with our biggest one, which is our business programs with Jean McLean. So welcome, Jean. Jean is the program coordinator of all of our business programs.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to start sharing my screen here. Can you see that now? Can you see the screen?
Not yet. Oh, there it's starting.
Okay, thank you.
There.
Okay, so as Betty said, we have certificate programs and degree programs. And in business, we have 6 one-year certificate programs and 3 degree programs. The certificate programs include accounting, entrepreneurship and small business management, logistics and supply chain management, business administration, administrative professional, and medical office specialists. All of these certificates flow seamlessly into our degree programs, our business career degree programs, and we have 2 of those. Business career and business career administrative professional. And the administrative professional is for people who want to go into, say, medical offices or business offices. We also have a business transfer program, and this is for students who want to go on for a bachelor's degree where you go in as a junior after you've graduated from Quinsigamond. Many of our students go to Worcester State University, UMass, Nichols College, and Anna Maria, but we've also had students go to Northeastern, BU, Bryant College, and Cornell. So we have articulation or agreements with the colleges I mentioned, UMass and the public colleges, and a couple of colleges in the Worcester area, where you are guaranteed acceptance at those colleges. What are some of the courses you would take in business? Well, no matter what industry you go into, whether it's manufacturing, education, nonprofit, any kind of business you might go into will need people who can manage their finances, manage their personnel, manage their marketing. So some of the courses that you would take in a business program include Intro to Business, which is a big overview, management, business law, financial planning, marketing, financial accounting, business writing, managerial accounting, principles of finance, keyboarding. Oops, I don't know what happened. Can we go back? Business ethics, social media marketing, human resource management, logistics, project management, international business, federal taxation, and that's not even all of them. We have sales and sales management, advertising, the stock market and investments. We have lots of courses. This is what a one-year certificate looks like. The first semester, you might be taking business law, computers, English, introduction to business, and a pre-co-op seminar. In the second semester, accounting 2, computerized accounting, a business writing course, and then you would get a job in your second semester, a co-op job, where you would get hands-on experience working with an instructor, as well as who will guide you with this job placement. So let's talk about some careers you might want to pursue. Accounting, and this information comes from the Massachusetts CIS website, that's Career Information Systems. So you can see that in central Massachusetts, the growth is really quite good, about almost 3%. Wages are good. This is a very large occupation. Marketing, again, marketing managers are in charge of things like publicity, public relations, advertising, and sales. Again, there's well-paying fields. You can see that marketing managers make about $134,000, sales managers in the same business, very large occupation, very high annual openings, very fast growth. Logistics, we've all been, during this pandemic, we've all been ordering from Amazon and eBay and Walmart.com and Whole Foods and Target. Logistics managers are in charge of getting the product from the manufacturer to the ultimate final consumer. Again, a very large occupation, growing very fast, lots of annual openings. So whether that product is in China or Mexico or Detroit, logistics managers get it from point of origin to final consumer. And again, high paying, good occupations. Purchasing managers are part of that chain, a part of that career cluster. They work for businesses buying things that the businesses need. Warehousing and transportation managers work with companies like UPS and FedEx, getting the products, shipping companies, railroads, getting products where they need to go. Operations managers take products from raw material to finished goods, and they work with they work in manufacturing. So whether it's tabletop pies that you're making or textbooks or cars, whatever you're making, operations managers are in charge of processes. Again, a very large occupation with faster than average growth and growing very fast in central Massachusetts. Almost 6,000 people work in this area in central Mass. Human resource managers, they recruit, they train and develop human resources. They predict what companies are going to need for human resources. They manage benefit and wage plans. So if you like to teach, but you don't like kids, human resources might be a good occupation for you. Again, annual openings are high, a very large occupation with well-paying jobs. Administrative assistants is where our business career professionals go into. This is that second one I was talking about. Medical office, because we have UMass Medical, St. Vincent's, Reliant, all in the central Mass area. Again, very large occupational growth, growing at almost 10% in central Massachusetts. The wages aren't as good as in some of the other fields, but on the other hand, there's not a lot of stress and it's kind of a 9-to-5 job. So why choose QCC, or why choose college at all? Well, 85% of QCC business graduates are either employed in the field or they're attending four-year colleges, getting their bachelor's degrees. And that doesn't mean that the other 15% aren't. It means we don't know what they're doing. But they could well be in the business or possibly at an out-of-state school. So remember I said that business transfer students graduate from QuinSig and get an associate's degree. So if you graduate, if you went to, say, Worcester State for 3 years and life interceded and you didn't get to finish, you would have some college, no degree. And the difference between some college, no degree and an associate's degree is more than $3,000 a year on average. So in 10 years, that's $32,000. A college degree also increases your access to jobs. It leads to higher job satisfaction. It provides long-term economic stability. It increases self-esteem. And as you know, if you listen to President Biden the other night, he was very focused on making community college accessible to everyone. And that's because he and the First Lady, who is a community college professor, understand the value of an associate's degree. So the cost at QuinSig for 1 year is about $7,500. At UMass, at Worcester State, 10,000, almost 600. UMass, 16,004. Anna Maria, 37,200. Nichols, 37,300. Clark, over $50,000. WPI, more than $55,000. And regardless of how much the tuition is, the maximum Pell Grant is $6,495, about $6,500. So you can see that if you went to QCC for 2 years, you'd owe at the most $1,000 a year if you got a full Pell Grant. That's not counting books. But if you went to one of these other colleges, it's still $6,500, whether you're paying $50,000 in tuition or $8,000 in tuition. There's also the Mass Plus grant is only for students who go to public colleges, which is community colleges, state colleges, and UMass. But for the private colleges, you can't get that additional grant. So it's CONSIG is a really good choice. We have great programs, great professors, great support staff, and it's a really good choice for the first 2 years of your journey. So thank you for listening, and I'm happy to answer any questions at the end.
So thank you, Jean. That was such important information. So let's move on to Dabe Bigahoni, and he is our program coordinator for engineering and bioengineering as well. I want to tell you that we have those are 2 engineering programs, but we also have several engineering technology programs, such as electronics and mechatronics and manufacturing and those types of programs. But welcome, Dabe.
Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here to show you some information about engineering. I put together some micro lab and to see how we can get the energy at different materials that we have. And also, I will talk a few minutes about our students that they transfer, they get good scholarship. They transfer to Cornell, Purdue, Rensselaer, Columbia, all over the place that I have the list of all of those. And the highest that they have been receiving so far per year has been $85,000 per year for 2 students, that one went to Columbia and the other one went to Cornell. So they also get from WPI, UMass system, Johns Hopkins, all over the United States. And all of their courses are transferable. But first, I want to show you some experiment. In here, I have ice and hot water. It's not too hot to burn my hand, but it's ice and hot water, nothing else. The source of energy is heat. These 2, when I turn the switch on, it creates energy. And this energy makes this fan to rotate and work, which means we get from just hot water and cold ice. They do it in Finland, they do it in in places that they have volcanic area and is also mountainous that there is a snow. So they can use both and they get energy, free energy from the nature. This is one form of energy. This is actually the project of a student in our energy utility department. Another form of energy is wind. Another form of energy is wind, which means wind, air, when it moves, can create a type of energy, push these blades forward, and it creates energy. You can see that this is the way that we can get energy from just regular material from nature. Another form of energy, this device is a galvanometer. It shows when current or electricity moves. And in here, I have a magnet. I have a magnet. You can see that when I move this one across the magnet, if I don't move it, if nothing happens, when I move that one, it shows the flow of the current. This is another form of energy. In here, I have some vinegar, regular vinegar that you make for your salad. I connect this one to these two metal. One is copper, the other one is zinc. When I connect, you can see that it creates electricity, and this device, it moves. This is another form of energy. Electricity created by just vinegar, some material that they have different properties than regular water. Lemon, regular lemon. I have here a nail. And a piece of copper. When I connect them together, nothing happens. But when I put them inside this vinegar, you can see that it moves, it shows electricity. Conservation of energy. I think you have seen this experiment. This one is called Newton's gravitational experiment. This magnet is very strong. To show you conservation of energy. In here, there are 5 spheres. It looks like.
Could you maybe move like your camera a little, like to point it down a bit? That would be awesome.
Yeah. You see
That's
it?
good. That's good. Thank you.
In here, I move one of them. I have to remove this. Now I move 2 of them. Now I move 3 of them. That energy of 3 is converted to energy of another 3. Now I move 4 of them. Conservation of energy, creating energy. These are all part of the engineering and biomedical engineering. Our student in engineering and biomedical engineering, they receive a scholarship, all different colleges and universities. Like this year, so far, the highest amount of a scholarship has been from WPI that one of our students received, and it's around $40,000, $50,000. And every year, our students get good scholarship. It means money is not the problem for our student. Also, sometimes the student, they tell me that their math is not good and they don't think that they can make it in engineering. Here, we have math courses and English courses from any level. Even if you can't add 2 numbers, we have basic math skills that the student can come, learn those courses. Then when they finish, for example, engineering or biomedical engineering, they can go to 4-year colleges like MIT, WPI, Cornell, anywhere in the world, and they start as junior. They can transfer about 74 credit to 4-year colleges. Our engineering courses, usually they start from calculus. Once that they reach to the calculus, then they take engineering course. It means they can apply and be accepted. We don't have any entrance examination, but we have tests to make sure that at what level we can put the student so that the student can learn and enjoy the class. We can put the student at any level that they are qualified because we want them to enjoy the level of learning. We have had a student that couldn't speak English many years ago from other countries. We have also developmental English, developmental math. Then a student can continue and get to the point that they want. Many of our students that they go to four-year college, they have also got their PhD. They get their master's, they get their PhD. So there is no limit. We have, sometimes I say that we are K to 14. It means from the kindergarten, we train a student all the way to the level that they are 12-year high school, 2 years in college, and then they can start as junior. So if anybody is interested in engineering, my email is b@qcc.mass.edu, and my telephone number is 508-854-4323.
Well, thank you, Dodd Bay, for that interesting information. I want to say that I did also share everyone's email address in the chat so that you can, get the correct spelling and contact them as needed. So let's go ahead and move on to Dean Palnero. Dean Palnero is the program coordinator in computer systems engineering technology, but he's going to give you an introduction to 4 different computer related programs that we have at QCC. So hi, Dean, thank you.
Morning, everybody. Glad to be here. That's a tough act to follow, Dodd Bay. That was really good. Everybody see that screen, hopefully?
Yep.
Okay, so you know how you sometimes walk around a mall parking lot and you see a sea of cars, and some people would say, wow, that just looks like a bunch of cars and they all look the same. And then you look a little closer and you notice that there's Ferraris and Mini Coopers and Teslas. And those cars are all very different from each other once you learn about them. But they're all really fun to drive. And that's sort of like what the computer programs of study are like at QCC. We actually have 4 computer related programs of study at QCC. And they're all very different from each other. So if you're interested in studying computers, once you learn about the details of the differences between the programs, you'll find that they're all fun and that you have a lot to choose from. So what I'd like to do this morning is just quickly take you through the differences between these 4 different programs. The 4 programs are our computer science transfer program. We have a computer information systems program. We have a computer systems engineering program, and we have an interactive media program. And so, let me describe the details and the differences between these programs. Let's start with the computer science transfer program. The computer science transfer program teaches you a lot about critical thinking, teaches you how to analyze problems, look for solutions, develop algorithms to solve those problems. Algorithms are like recipes. They're like step-by-step process for solving a problem. And algorithms are used to solve problems by using a computer. You would write a computer program that would basically implement the algorithm. The programs that you write in the computer science field would work on computers that you're familiar with, like your laptop or your desktop, but they would also control devices like robots and industrial machines and things like that. Almost all of our devices these days have computers embedded in them, including your washing machine and your refrigerator. And all of those machines need to be programmed to solve problems. And that's what the computer science program teaches you to do. So if you like solving problems, if you like solving puzzles and things like that, computer science is a great field. Our program at QCC is a transfer program. So basically it allows you to go through your first 2 years of your computer science education at QCC. And then like Jean was talking about and Dabe was talking about, you get to transfer from QCC to a 4-year degree program, get your computer science bachelor's degree, and then move on from there, possibly getting your master's degree or PhD in computer science, and then enjoying a great and lucrative career in computer science, software engineering, working for some of the most prestigious companies in the world. Companies like Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, all of those our students our student graduates have gotten jobs at those kinds of companies. So that's the computer science transfer program. The next program is the Computer Information Systems program. And what is that about? So computer information systems has to do with building applications for business use. So the best example of that would be website construction. So every business out there these days has a website. And some websites, as you are well aware, I'm sure, get very complex. And part of learning how to build those websites is what we teach in the Computer Information Systems program. So website development is one example of a business application, and a very important business application that you would spend your time learning about. If you think about those websites, they are very complicated, right? And you could think of, think about the last time you were on Amazon and how many screens you look through when you actually purchase something, and how complicated those screens are, and how much information is conveyed both ways, from Amazon to you and from you back to Amazon. And think about your shopping cart and all of the price listing and things like that. Well, all of that comes from a database that Amazon maintains, and the websites integrate with the databases behind them to be able to present that information to you and capture information from you in terms of your purchases. All of that database management activity and database support activity is also part of the Computer Information Systems program of study. And that's stuff that you will learn as well. How do these websites interact with the back-end databases? So that's what Computer Information Systems is all about. The next program is called Computer Systems Engineering Technology, or CSET for short. The CSET program teaches you about how to take all of the computers that we use in business, at our homes, at small business, medium businesses, large enterprises. How do you configure those computers? How do you administer and make them function and support them? And most importantly, how do you connect them all so that they can talk to each other worldwide? That's the kind of stuff that you would learn in the Computer Systems Engineering program. We break the Computer Systems Engineering program down a little bit further. We have certificate programs associated with our CSET department. that involve learning details about cybersecurity. Security certainly is a really critical part of administering and configuring computers, and most importantly, computer networks, when we tie these computers together in a public way using public networks like the internet. So we teach cybersecurity. We teach computer support. You know, how do you become a help desk technician? How do you help people use their computers in their everyday lives, particularly in business? You can become a help desk technician and learn all about that in our CSET department. Computer forensics, learn how to take a look at a computer after some event, like a crime or something like that happens. How to deconstruct a computer to learn what it was doing when it failed or when an event happened. That would be computer forensics. In the computer systems engineering department, we have a rich program of working with other colleges and universities so that you can move on from our associate's degrees and go to a four-year college. And as I said, continue on from there with your bachelor's degree, master's degree, and PhD. Or alternatively, many of our graduates with their associate's degree move on to industry and become help desk technicians, entry-level cybersecurity positions, which are highly in need right now, and there's lots of jobs associated with that. Computer engineering positions, network administrators, systems administrators. Those are all the kinds of careers that you can pursue with a computer systems engineering degree. And then finally, we have a department called Interactive Media. And interactive media, what is that about? That is all about teaching people to use computers to convey ideas and convey those ideas in a regional way or even a global way over the internet. Interactive media teaches you a lot about the art of conveying those ideas and the entertainment value of using computers to convey those ideas through interactive media. And we have two awesome state-of-the-art interactive media labs at QCC, where you will be able to use, hands-on, where you learn in a hands-on way all about using all kinds of interactive media tools. You'll become proficient in things like 3D modeling, which is something that is used in many industries. You may have seen it if you have any interest in art and architecture. 3D modeling is a big part of that. Animation, motion graphics, and then a big one is video production. So video production and film, those are huge interactive media users. So those are careers that you can get yourself into with an interactive media degree. Also, interactive gaming design is becoming very big. So that is also something else that is a big part of our interactive media program. So again, with the interactive media program, you can transfer to a four-year degree college and get your bachelor's and move on from there with a master's or PhD, and then pursue industry after that. Or you can graduate with your associate's degree from QCC and launch right into industry with some really lucrative careers.
So thank you, Dean. So I'm sorry, did I cut you off, Dean?
No, that's fine. No, I was done. That was it.
Okay, great. So thank you. Those are some really great programs at QCC for computer technology, for computer related careers. Those are great options. So I want to say that, we've introduced you to just just a handful of some really important programs that we have at QCC. I want to remind you of why QCC is a great option for you. All three of our program coordinators have presented career options for you that mostly only require, maybe a certificate or a 2-year degree to go right into the workplace. Jean had some great statistics that showed you the price of QCC versus a 4-year university. And she talked to you a little bit about the Pell Grant and some other scholarship opportunities or some other grant opportunities that mean that you could possibly go through a 2-year degree with little or no debt in the end and move right into, a career. So I've added everyone's information, every QCC program coordinator's information and their email in the chat. And we welcome any questions that you might have. So do you have questions for either me or any of the program coordinators at QCC?
I actually have a question. For the computer programs, for the IMGD and the IMDD, where are your students transferring to? What are the most popular 4-year colleges that they're transferring to?
Well, I think that many of our students go to Savannah College of Art and Design, and you may know that that's kind of the premier college in the US for that discipline. We are really gaining steam with our gaming option, and we're going to be introducing an esports option in this coming year as well.
Okay, thank you. I was just wondering if students were leaving QCC with the IMGD and the IMDD, and if they were transferring to, say, like Fitchburg State or any of the heavy hitters in the Massachusetts area.
Well, we have a site, and I should have brought this to you, a site where we have our agreements. If someone were to send me an email asking about that, I would give you the link, and then you would be able to see where our programs articulate directly to. So I am sure that IMD and IMG transfer to a variety of local colleges. I do know that we're working on an agreement right now with WPI for both IMD and IMG. So there are many out there.
I just didn't know if in particular there were some students that you say historically maybe. I know that I think it's Fitchburg State has a program, and I didn't know if that's one that if a student's looking at IMDG or IMGD, if we should say, hey, if you're still thinking about staying local, because I know that there are a bunch of transfer programs with the to transfer state schools as opposed to the articulation agreements. if they're trying to stay local and keep the cost, affordable. I think Fitchburg would be one. Do you have any suggestions? I know that on that transfer list, there's a group of them. But I'm just wondering if you have the professor that teaches that those programs, do you have any suggestions? And have you heard of any students that when they leave, they say, hey, listen, professor, I actually got accepted and I'm going to move on. I graduated from QCC. I'm graduating this semester and I'm moving on to such and such school. Have you heard of a lot of schools that the students have been talking about?
So Dean doesn't teach in that program area. We don't have a program coordinator here today in that program area, but I can say that all of the students, or almost all of the students who graduate from IMD and IMG, many of them, most of them go on to a 4-year degree, local, or, SCAD in Savannah is kind of the premier college. And that's why I mentioned that because our students often get incredible scholarships to that
Oh,
location,
know.
but there are many locally. And if you were to send me an email, I would connect you to that program coordinator.
okay. Yeah, no, thank you so much. I can look that up, but thank you. That's
You're
good to know.
welcome.
I didn't know that they get some wonderful scholarships from Savannah.
Yeah, they do. They get some incredible ones. So the program coordinator's name for IMD and gaming is George Fitch, Fitch.
Mhm.
So his email would be gfitch@qcc.mass.edu.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I have a question. I'd like to know what your recommendation is if you're working with a student who wants to start by getting a certificate and they're looking for a lucrative career with family-friendly hours.
So I think there are lots of options, and computer careers are really good today. When you have great computer skills, that's a great place to be. But there's also many business programs that have just 1-year certificates that really prepare you to get a job in a year that pays well enough to support yourself, certainly. So both of those career programs are big. Now, if you look at business engineering and technology overall, there are more certificates, obviously, in things like electronics and maybe manufacturing. Some of the higher paid skill areas, I think, are computer related, business related, electronics related. HVAC and auto tech are certainly a couple that have, good paying careers after a single year as well.
Which field specifically within business would you
So
do well with the certificate?
I would say that you would start out, let's say you started out with an accounting certificate, that would get you an entry-level bookkeeping job. And they pay well, but accountants naturally make more. But I think the important thing is that certificates flow seamlessly into career degrees. So every course you take in a certificate is going to count in your degree. It's not going to go to waste. It's not going to be unused. And another thing to remember is, let's say that you started out with a certificate in logistics and supply chain management. There are literally thousands of jobs in that area. Every e-company is looking for people to manage their supply chain. And you could start out with just a certificate. And then if you went to work for a company like UPS or an insurance company, they will pay you to keep going. So you get that certificate and now you get a job, and UPS will pay you to keep going. They will pay for every course you take as long as you get a C or better in the course. And they'll do that for as long as you're in school. So you get you get your own certificate, then they help you pay for your associate's degree, your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, whatever, as far as you want to go. And you keep moving up in those companies. So it's not a question of getting a certificate and staying with that for the rest of your life. It's kind of, keep learning, keep moving, keep building your skills, keep up with technology. But a certificate's a good way to start.
I agree. That was a great explanation there, Jean. Other questions?
I do have another question. I noticed that some of the programs seem to have an internship built in. Is there a component that helps students connect with employers for post-certificate or post-degree, other than just career services?
I can answer that. We have career services and they do help. We have our students take a pre-co-op seminar with our career services where they learn about networking, resume writing, interviewing skills, employer expectations. And then as they're working with our career services people, they can help them find a job. The internship is 150 hours if it's unpaid, if it's a volunteer opportunity, or it is 225 hours if you are getting paid. And again, this hands-on, real life experience really appeals to employers when they see it on your resume. They know that you have actually worked, you've actually shown up at work and done things in that field.
So I want to say that before Dodbay jumps in, I want to say that many of our two-year degrees require a cooperative work experience. We want, and we try to help facilitate and help the student find a job at, some local industry, some local business that will help them kind of develop the skills that they learned in class. This is really important, we think, for the students to know that the career that they selected is the right career for them as they, graduate and go out into the field, or that they, get enough experience that they start to know what to look for in a company, as they seek full-time employment. So Dodbay, you were going to add something there.
Usually during the summer, many four-year colleges and universities, they have research and they have grant from NSF for the women and minorities that they can go to those colleges for internship about maybe 12 weeks, and they pay them. They pay them $6,000-$7,000 room and board and everything. And the student, they go there and they do the research. They work with the for example, a student which is doing the PhD with a professor that they're doing some research and they get paid. And then they give their research presentation, usually sometimes in Texas, sometimes in, for example, New York, sometimes in different places. And also we are a member of Biomedical Engineering Society that actually I am renewing that one for the coming year, that our student, they go and on those four-year colleges, they pay for their travel and presentation so that they can present their poster. And always I have more requests than in student to be ready or willing to go for these internship. Again, they are all paid internship that they go and they use those.
So there is a question. I'm sorry. Did someone have a comment regarding that? There is an additional question in the chat that says, so would I have an opportunity to choose both web and game design development programming and animations in the computer science field? Because the interactive media and the computer information systems sparked my interest for the careers that I want. And so, those are two different program areas, but they certainly have some overlap. We do have students who do dual degrees as well. But my suggestion is that, you come to QCC and you explore both of those areas so that you know what really excites you. You have to work a long time, you have to work until you're 70 years old or so. And you're going to want to find a career that makes you happy. Other questions? Anne, what do you think?
Let's see. Do we have no more questions? It sounds like folks may be done with questions. If that is the case, I want to say thank you so much for planning this panel, Betty. This has been so valuable, and I think we've all learned a lot, and we appreciate your time.
You're welcome, and thank you all of QCC participants and students. We would be so excited to meet and talk with any of you. Take care.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Have a safe day.
Take care.